Hey, Lunix. I went live and I am so not really ready. Like, on a lot of levels, I'm not really ready. No, go back. Oh my god, why did you go backwards? Because you went from the library to the store. Well, so there's still a backwards. What's different than usual? Are you not being ready? I already know what we're playing. That's not what I'm doing here. The reason I'm on my Steam stuff, which is not where Hellblade is. Hellblade is on GOG. Yeah, it's on GOG. I'm working on this. And when it's all done, I will make it open for viewing. I'm fancy, see? I actually had to look up how to do that. But I know the list is going to be really long, even though I have it set up already so that, like, if it's got multiple platforms, we'll be able to see the multiple platforms. But I should probably, the other thing I should probably do is make the name of the game. I should just relabel this as title instead of name of game. So that it stays on the left even when we're scrolling sideways, even though if you like make this full screen, it shouldn't really be needed, but thank you. Now this will always be visible even if you're running like this and you want to see all the other stuff about the game. It'll still be there. You'll be able to go, oh, did she finish that one? Oh, she finished Subnautica. Which platform is that one on? Get a better idea of, well, you know, here are the... I wanted to separate the genres like I did the consoles or platforms or whatever. But they would just be, they would be all, like, there would be so many genres. Oh, you got your laptop? That's pretty sweet. And today was supposed to be your first day, right? Did it arrive on time? Like, were you able to, like, have the laptop in your hot little hand so that you would be able to actually follow along doing everything? Or did you have to take notes until it arrived? Also, I'm not sure how much I personally would want to actually work on one of my company's laptops. They're kind of shite. I kind of figured. But it's in your hot little hand now. That's the important part. Like, I think the first day of training for me, I didn't even though, like, it became available while I was at work, my first day of training didn't even have access to my Amazon workspace. Also, I don't think it was until, like, the second or third day before I got access to a lot of the other stuff I was supposed to have access to. Oh my... See, that's one of the things that makes me kind of scared about the idea of ordering reptiles. There are lots of reptile breeders out there who breed beautiful ball pythons and Brazilian rainbow boa is the next snake I want to get. which honestly I'm kind of surprised they didn't do while Sarge was missing, but then I would have been short an enclosure. Speaking of, stop rattling. I don't even have a rattle. How are you rattling? Look who came out of hiding. And yes, I can assure you this is the same snake. It's not like there are multiple ball pythons who went missing in my room. Or like they could be breeding. Also, they don't come out of the egg nearly this big. I've never used Slack. I don't know if I can really make me any bigger. I think the biggest I get is on this one. Which, Sarge is being a pain in the butt. Ugh. His enclosure is nice and warm, so he's got a lot of energy at the moment. Although he's spent the entire day sitting on top of his hide. Little freakazoid. Little freakazoid. What? You just want to get on the back of my chair so you can run away. Got all the tongue flicks. Look, see, now you can't move because you're on my skin. You have a hard time moving on the skin. Your scoots just don't work. So, scoots are what the belly scales are called. They're called scoots. And also, interesting fun fact, other than the fact that they are not slimy, he's actually pretty dry except for any condensation that might be on him from being in his overly humid enclosure because the reptichip was still a year later awfully damp. And reptichip is the bedding that I use for him. When they shed their skin, like all the little spots where they have a scale, it's got this really like, it's as if the scale itself was wrapped in skin. So like the scales are protected by the skin that they shed. So the scales are actually underneath of the skin. But when they shed the scale. But there's no, like, you can't feel the scales on the shed. I don't have any good sheds to show you guys. And I know that Sarge is the only snake who's really been, I think, on camera. I don't think even Daenerys has been out. But he's the big boy. He's also probably about as big as he's ever gonna get. He's 4.5 years old. And male ball pythons rarely make it much above 1,000 kilograms. And that's about where he's at. He's a little over 1,000. Before he went missing for 2 months, he was just over 1,000 kilograms. Right, what are you? I don't know what he's trying to do. I was actually pretty surprised by that as well. I'm not really sure where he was during the 2 months, but you can't really tell how tight he's holding me, but he's holding on to me pretty damn tight. Also, side note, ball pythons are not arboreal snakes, and when you're holding them like this, you have to be like really attentive to their whole body, because if he flips himself or slides some way that he shouldn't, you have to be there to grab him, because otherwise he's going to fall all the way down onto the ground. And now he's grabbing me like he thinks he's a bracelet. Another wonderful side note, you know, all the like snake jewelry you see in Egyptian artifacts, a lot of like bracelets, they used to wear, like actually wear snakes like ball pythons as actual legitimate bracelets, not like dipped in gold and worn. No, like they would wear a ball python around their wrist because they have two defense mechanisms: hold on for dear effing life, or curl up into a ball. Sarge does not. Sarge is broken. Okay. He is a hidden gene Woma ball python. And a lot like the spider ball python, they share something called wobble. It's nothing that he can be fixed from. And he doesn't really have it bad. You actually will rarely notice it at all. He just kind of sometimes has a hard time finding where down is. But some ball pythons with wobble will like literally corkscrew. Hi. You're Mr. Naughty Pants. God damn it, Tim Kempy. Your little frickin' tag keeps flashing light. Yes, he is a very naughty escape artist boy. But that was 100% on me. I had stopped keeping things on top of his enclosure. And that has to be how he found his way out. Huh. But that's why Mom has a giant piece of gypsum on top of his enclosure, and her vase with, like, the last thing she bought her mom in it. Mr. Man. I'm totally going to find a random shed from you somewhere, I'm sure of it, because you're still too fresh. Yeah. Watch me get bit for the first time by the snake on camera. Sarge has never bit anyone since coming into my care. His previous owner, who was also a member of the ball python group that I'm a member of on Facebook, that I haven't paid any attention to for a while, I guess he was a little nippy with her, but he was also a neonate, and neonates are incredibly nippy. So I've had Sarge for most of his life. And he could conceivably outlive me. So he's 4 years old, and that's roughly 1/10 of his lifespan. There was a female ball python at the Cincinnati Zoo who was wild caught, so they don't know how old she was when she was caught, who was in the zoo, at the zoo for over 50 years. So she conceivably Could have been 60 years old, 100 years old, we don't know. But the average captive lifespan is around 30 to 40 years, if they're well cared for. I'm actually really surprised that he is not thinner after 2 months. Did you find mices in my house? Did you eat some mices? Yeah, so am I. Should we put you back in your enclosure so you can de-stress after all of this handling? Hmm? Yeah. I'd kiss him, but, you know, salmonella. Speaking of, I'm going to wash my hands before I come back. No, not on top of the lid, Sarge. Oh. Please. You're dead set against using that other hide, aren't you? There is a hide right on that side, right there. I saw that corkscrew. Nope, there's glass there, mister. And he's back in his enclosure, or in his hide. This is the other thing, other than a giant piece of gypsum, that is on my mom, or on Sarge's enclosure. It is a Build-A-Bear that I bought from my mom for Mother's Day the year she died. And the vase that the flowers that my dad bought, the arrangement that my dad bought for my sister and I, was in. So I kept the arrangement. I don't know if you can really call that a vase. It's more like a giant glass cylinder. It's very dusty because it's been sitting on top of a bookshelf for like 4 years. Yep. Oh yeah, and the super crazy thing is that I couldn't figure out how he could possibly be getting up to the spots where things seemed to be happening. And the night that I found him, he had crawled up my one of my LED lamps. So he was literally climbing up the LED lamp, which is right next to the shelf where his enclosure is. And when I caught him, he was just moving over onto the shelf, and I'm like, what the what the hell? It was, I mean, you could tell. Yeah. He's only 4 years old, and they could live to be 40. It's 1/10 of how long they can live. So, he's a baby. He's sexually mature, but he's a baby. And there are people who will raise their ball pythons, males and females. Usually they'll stop feeding males. Well, they'll stop feeding them to let them grow when they hit between 500 and 1,000 grams. And then with females, they will, like, some people will practically force feed them. They will feed them, you know, whatever size rat once a week until they hit breeding weight. But just because now they're big enough to breed does not mean that they are mature enough to breed. That's how you end up with lots and lots of females who are egg bound. They can't pass the eggs from their oviducts through their cloaca and lay the egg. And then they die because they can't do that. Yeah, you might actually be right. You made that guess the day that I found the lamp all like over. I couldn't figure out how that could have happened. You're like, he's trying to get back. You should put. I don't think I would have found him inside of the enclosure, but you know, now I have to buy new plastic plants to put in there. And now we've spent like 30 minutes talking about my snake. You know, it could be, of course, at the time that he finally really started showing up, I had long since unplugged his enclosure. And now I have everything plugged back in. Heck, I had to use aluminum foil tape to keep his under tank heater attached to his tank. I don't know why I didn't do that when I put it on under there, but apparently I did. Yeah, it is. But so is you getting your laptop and being ready for work. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited to see you finally get to have a taste of not having to, you know, put on a giant smile and be like, sure, I'd be happy to help you find that insignificant piece of shit that's staring you in your face. Although sometimes I feel like I'm doing that as a help desk worker. But at least I can get off of the phone and gripe all I want. I think both of our news is, you know, super exciting and super important. Because they're both, I mean, I guess it's back to business as usual for me, but it's still kind of life-changing. But you getting to have your job, that's pretty much life-changing. No, that is life-changing. Totally different spectrum of work. Yay! So, yeah, so I'm and you know, I'm working on this. I only started this today. So, oh, it'll be a lot. Like until you really get into the swing of things and start doing it and do it for like a month, it will feel like you're in over your head no matter what. No matter how much training you've had, no matter how much schooling you've had, no matter anything. Like, I had done a job similar to this before I started this one, and boy, let me tell you, I felt like I was like this far underwater when I finally came up and was able to go, oh, hey, wait, I can do this job. I was like, after month 2. Oh, yeah, yeah. And I mean, like, I don't know what the rules are at Target for keeping the discount because, like, I haven't worked for Target since fall 1998. Um, and at the time, it was, you know, you're not working full time. That is kind of nice. I can't, like, during training, you'll be able to do that as much as you really need to. If you are in a position where you're going to be taking phone calls, though, like, there are plenty of times where I'm sitting here, I've needed to go to the bathroom for like a couple of minutes. I'm like, oh, it's just a password reset. I can do this call. It'll be fine. 40 minutes later, because we finished the problem, but the user doesn't want to move on with it. And I can't go pee the entire time that I'm on the phone call. Finally get off the call and I run to the bathroom. Really? That's it? See, that was not a thing when I was working for Target back in the day. But then again, I would not have wanted... The reason that I left Target was one of the team members assaulted me in the notions aisle in the back room while I was doing my polls. There was no... And they wouldn't fire him because it was he said, she said. So. Yay me. But you have a much better reputation and everything, you know, interpersonal communication and everything with your team lead and all that. So I could see being willing to stick out, working even, you know, once a weekend or every other weekend or, you know, one Sunday a month or something. I could do something like that if I really thought that it, like, I could get there. I'm guessing probably started around the time that the pandemic started. Guessing. Nope. That particular aisle, when I was working there at the time, the camera, I don't think there was a camera for that specific aisle. Also, the light didn't work in that aisle, which is why he chose it to assault me. And I was 18 years old and naive. Considering she's asking about when you're available for the holidays, that's completely understandable. Retail for holiday work, it's insane. Like, they'll usually hire on extra people for the holidays and be like, we might keep you, but more than likely you'll probably be done at the end of the holidays. So yeah. Anyways, rather than dwelling on that, I'm gonna keep working on this after work. So eventually I will post this somewhere. I don't know where. Yeah, it might go through, you know, some changes. I might still decide to make, you know, like a column for action and survival and horror and psychological, so that you can go, oh, well, let's see here, which, you know, which games all contain the word, you know, horror. It's like right now, if you want to, you can sort that by alphabetically. You can sort this one alphabetically. Publish, like you can sort all of this however you want, and it will always be true to the, you know, the rest of it. Wow. Dude, my favorite holiday is Halloween. All the other holidays are just, oh great, yay, I get to see my family. But like Halloween, even if I don't see anybody, Halloween is my favorite holiday. Six to 2:30. Oof. Halloween is just, it's the best. And I always get super excited about it, even if I'm just sitting at home. Like, I'll usually request the day off if it's a work day, but it's Sunday this year, so it's not a work day. So. But I'll usually request, the days I usually request off are Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, my birthday, and the 4th of July. Yeah, it was a big change for me too, because my last call center job was still only a half an hour lunch. And having an hour for lunch, it feels kind of weird. But I usually make my lunch 2 hours before lunch, so that it's got an hour to cool off in the oven. And then I usually have it scarfed down by like the first 15 minutes. Didn't realize your birthday was so close. Oh my gosh. I got plenty of sleep last night. I don't know why I'm yawning. I changed where the microphone is plugged in too, also. Deckert Games was playing this game last night. December 1st already. Boy. Mine's in late February, and you would think that having a late February birthday, there would be no, oh, we can't possibly do your birthday, or we can't possibly do, you know, presents or anything for your birthday. Yeah, no, that was actually a big problem for me growing up. I assume you had at least a little bit of, well, you have a December birthday, so... Why, mouse? Why? Go away. I hide you. Alright. So... Deckard Games was also playing this yesterday. And they actually went through this part of the game. I think I already went through it. I don't think I need to go that way. I think I need to go this way. And I totally missed them going through this part, so I don't know how to do this. Also, I was incredibly tired yesterday. There's a and I don't think I can walk too close to the light, because I think the light lets them see me. I know I can't make any noise, because if I make noise, then they definitely respond. Well, I mean, I was tired, and I couldn't concentrate. I mean, I couldn't work in an orange juice factory. Yep. I think I was officially asleep by 6:30. I don't know how many more times I can die going through here. Oh, that's a wall. God, those things are disgusting. God damn it, is this back to the freaking... Better not be the entrance to the same place I came out of.
I think I'm in a house. It stinks of death.
The darkness is testing you, but you are in control.
Yeah, oh my god. It's just the same goddamn house I just came out of. Yes. Damn it. Okay, well,
A well. There's a well.
I caught this part.
Don't turn back. We're getting close.
Yeah. Stop fidgeting.
Help me.
Come to me, Senua.
Dillian? Is that you? I can see a light.
Yes, I can see you too.
Well, I can't tell if we're going to run into anything. I just want to get out of here. I want to get Tearfang. Yeah, I want to be done with this.
She
So
could
I can
spend
escape.
hours, days even, trapped within herself, in the dark.
You see me?
Yes.
Your eyes were open, but you were gone.
And when it finally let her go, she could be anywhere, with no memory of how she got there.
When it comes for me, I have no power over it.
But here, for the first time, someone was there to help.
But I heard your voice. You brought me back.
You found your own way back.
Jillian's taller than she is.
All you
Fairly
needed was a
typical.
little help. A little hope.
Or at least I'm assuming that was, you know, Jillian's. I just noticed we had a new follower, apparently yesterday. Thank you for the follow.
With grammar reforged, you will have Odin's blessing to walk, a goddess, into the halls of Helheim and challenge Hela as an equal.
So Dillian was helping me. And the sword will lead me to him. Like when we first met.
Alright, so before I pull out the sword, I'm actually going to go ahead and run to the bathroom. And I will be right back, guys. I'm glad we're out of that, by the way. It's really stressful. I have to go almost to the entrance first. I will find the entrance after I come back from going to the bathroom. Sitting here thinking to myself, why was there a delay on that? And it's because I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hey, didn't you just say you got plenty of sleep last night? Yeah, my brain is still not here. I don't think my brain is ever actually here. I think it lives in some other dimension where time is completely effed up. Why can I not? Where's the... Oh, that's right. We had to go all the way around the tree last time. There's like a spiral up the enjoy. No, it's slow. No, well, I deserve it. Never mind. Oh, that's right. Like, boy, I'm sure moving slow. What? More slow clapping. Also, so I know I mentioned that we have a new follower. Official welcome for the new follower. Thank you very much for the follow, Goth Ghoul. I really appreciate everybody who's here, even when they're not here. So you are appreciated.
Dillian gave her the strength to pass the warrior trials, and she saw a way out. To leave her past behind and become a warrior in Dillian's clan.
Give me the sword.
Is tainted by the gods of darkness. Leave it.
No. He left it here. He wants me to take it.
Dillian had
You
Tearfing.
will pay a price for this.
But years later, with Zinbal's parting words still haunting her, the darkness came back with a vengeance. The plague.
Dillian?
Everyone suffered.
My father was not supposed to die like this.
Dillian.
Do you see it clearly now, Senua? The suffering you've caused.
This is your fault. You brought this plague to us. You have blood on your hands.
I really think this game does such a brilliant job of depicting mental illness.
Hold your heavy strike. Hold it. Hold the heavy strike. Hold it. Hold it. Hold your heavy strike. Unleash the sword. Must remember, she can focus. It's inside her. The mirror. Focus is coming back. Focus. Focus now.
I'm gonna stop pushing the wrong button.
You want it. There's nowhere to run to.
In the sea of corpses, the corpse waved through itself over the ones I loved. The ship broke up under them. The ship that had sailed from the land of shining fields.
Okay.
Their
Just
memorials
making sure there
shown
weren't
as sacred.
neurons.
Come not here in the sun.
Lore
Come
stones,
not
whatever.
with a sword. Come not crying over a naked corpse. Come not with disturbed mind.
This is where we're gonna have like uber major ultimate combat, like giant combat scene. That's gonna be all kinds of fun.
Do you hear the suffering, Senua? Does your precious gift of sight let you see the souls that rot here in this sea of corpses? Do you feel the blood running cold on your skin? Do you hear their endless cries? Do you smell their putrid wounds? They were once brothers, sisters, and loved ones. And look at what you have done to them. All because you were a coward, because you ran from your curse instead of facing it. When you turned your back on your father, Zinbo, you turned your back on the gods and let the darkness wreak havoc on your people. Why must they pay for your heresy?
That warning came a little late, guys.
Defend yourself. Stop them. Get up quickly. Get up. She can still do it.
Apparently, no, I can't still do it. Is it just me, or is less of her arm black than it was earlier? That doesn't seem right. It should be like all the way up to my shoulder.
He's down. Finish it. Finish it. Strike him. Watch out! Behind you.
Ah, it's not really behind me, but okay.
Quickly get up. They're coming.
I'm trying.
She's hurt. She won't make it. Stop it. Stop. Behind you. She finished him. Get out. Get out of the way. Don't give up. Don't give up. Ended it. Defend yourself. She's coming. Focus. Focus. Get up quick. Focus. Focus. Finish this. Finish this. Finish him.
Oh well, that
Who is it?
that was slightly easier than I was expecting that part to be.
Do you hear, Senua?
It's
Do you hear the voice of your mother, Galena? She calls for you, Senua. Go to her. Answer her pitiful call.
Oh, I saw something glowy over here.
The darkness took her life, and it will take yours.
Okay, I didn't see something glowy over there.
Further and further into it. Surrender to the darkness.
No!
Darkness is here.
No surrender to the darkness. I was expecting that to be a much longer battle. That's where I came down at.
Do you
And probably
hear the
because-
suffering, Senua? Does your precious gift of sight let you see the souls that rot here in this sea of corpses? Do you feel the blood running cold on your skin? Do you hear their endless cries? Do you smell their putrid wounds? They were once brothers, sisters, and loved ones. And look at what you have done to them.
Mother!
All because you were a coward, because you ran from your curse instead of facing it. When you turned your back on your father, Zinbel, you turned your back on the gods and let the darkness wreak havoc on your people. Why must they pay for your heresy? The darkness when it came for her. She too had a sight. She too doubted the gods and let the darkness infest her. But she didn't run. She escaped the only way she knew how. She gave her life to the gods. If only you had done the same, the world would have been spared this horror. It's not too late. She's calling for you. Why don't you join her?
It's not over. It's not over. Keep going. She will die.
Focus is crying. It's coming back.
She's going to die. No, she isn't. She knows how to fight. She's injured. Focus. It's the only way. End it. End it now. There he is. Rush the one in front of you. She's got her sword. Hail, go. Attack. Quickly get up.
Oh, I'm getting up as fast as I can.
Focus. Focus now. Go. Get up quick. She's injured. She can still do it. It's not over. It's not over. Too slow. Too slow.
That's not behind me. Literally not behind me.
She's injured. She won't make it.
I'm going to die.
You can do this. Focus. Focus. You finished it.
are there? See, I knew there was more.
Watch out! Watch out! He's stronger than you. Take him down! Take him down! Get him down! We're winning. Get out! The mirror focus is coming back.
Ah! Fucking throwing axes! No throwing axes! Asshole.
Focus now. Focus this.
Why do you still fight on? Maybe you too should suffer with your brethren in this rot and let your blood seep into the seas and the rivers of hell. Isn't that what you deserve after all you've done? Give the darkness what it wants, let it swallow your soul and destroy all that you are. Why are you fighting for someone who is already dead?
Because Minion Epic tell tales of people
What hope is there
seeking to end
even if his soul could be
the
rescued?
suffering of a loved one in the
Thank
underworld.
you for what you have done to him, to
Orpheus,
his friends, to his
among them.
father.
Oh, shitty McShitterton!
She can ignore the pain. Do it. You're close. He's gone. Get up quickly.
I'm getting up. I don't know if I drink when I'm bored, but I definitely eat when I'm bored. Also, dude, that was his job.
You both surrendered to the voices. The darkness has taken you. Galena and Senua. Galena and Senua.
My forearm kind of hurts.
You are lost. There's nothing you can do. You're dead. You're both dead. Mother and daughter dead in the sea of corpses. The voices took her and they'll take you too. The voices have taken her. The voices will take you. It's the end. The end for you. I can't fight it anymore. Not on my own. Where are you, Mother? I want to be with you.
That night, she gave up on her world to follow in the footsteps of her mother. To go to a place where the darkness couldn't reach her.
Senua. Look at me.
Do you hear them? They're calling for me.
We've lost so many. And I've lost my father. I can't lose you.
You said it. I have blood on my hands.
I didn't say that. You've done nothing wrong.
Simba was right. Everyone will suffer.
Zimbel is a fake. He is a hateful, bitter liar. He's poison. And his words still haunt you. Who do you trust? Him? Or me? Do you still believe in me, Senua? In us? Come back to me. Please. Don't let this darkness come between us.
The hardest battles are fought in the mind. He gave her the sword with which to fight in more ways than one. And she gave him her word, never to surrender. All she needed was a little help.
From her
A
friends?
little hope.
I didn't say anything. And I wish there was a way to more easily see all the lore stones that we've already seen, other than finding a lore stone. I think I'm missing, like, 3 now. The rocks.
I'm here to help you.
Or at least I don't think we can go.
We're here. We're back.
I'm not sure if the voices being in our head, or the voices in our head being back, that's a good thing. Bad.
Don't worry. We're here to help you. You don't have to do this on your own anymore. You need us.
Of course, that's she
We're
has
here to help you.
voices in
You
her
need
head
us.
because of
So worried.
Silence is lonely.
mental
Didn't know
illness.
where you'd gone.
We're here to help you.
You can trust us.
I'm not 100% sure which mental illness it is that she's likely suffering through.
We're here to stay.
But I know the voices are part.
She needs us. She needs our help. She always does.
We found her.
We found her. We found you.
Here she is.
Are you sure you found us? Also, why is my arm not nearly as black as it should be?
Worry.
We'll make sure you're safe.
She's safe now.
You're always safe with us.
She has us. You've done so well,
You've
Senua.
come so far. Listen, Senua. Listen.
You've done so well.
Listen to us. And we talk to you.
Listen, Senua.
We're here. We'll help you.
We're here to help you.
will help you go even further than you've been before.
You don't have to do
I really need to change
Into
my
the mountain.
camera.
Can you see it?
Shall we tell him
I'm
where
not
to go?
slouching all that bad, and yet the camera doesn't really have me framed.
Just up there. Listen to us. Sit.
So there's
Shall we take it?
that ladder there.
Does she know which way to look? Does she know her way into the mountain?
She's a good girl, isn't she?
Excusez-moi.
Did you listen? Oh, she did. She did.
Are you glad we're back?
She's so glad we're back. Go on.
Which way to go? Look up.
Boy, the voices are sure proud of themselves, aren't they?
There's a door.
You can do it.
You can see it.
Come on, Senua.
Go away. I'm not listening.
I'm not done looking around because I didn't do this earlier. Like a dummy head. Okay, this is where we would have come up if we'd have taken the ladder. Could you imagine watching me play this in VR? I would be so sick. I would be nauseous after like 5 minutes. Sarge, what are you doing out of your frickin' hide again? Don't you know you're a ball python? That's what you guys do? Hide? Sorry, he's on top of his hide again. Like a dummy. Just checking out the environment. Especially since I'm pretty sure we're going to have to do rooms. Who knows? No rooms. Just push. Just push. God, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've missed 4.
I will tell you of a great hero named Sigurd, son of Sigmund, no less. Born after his father's death, Sigurd is cared for by the dwarf Rain. But Rain does not love the boy. Instead, he plans to use him for his own ends. You see, Rain's father possessed a great treasure given to him by the gods. But Rain's brother, Fafnir, killed his father and took the gold all for himself. Fafnir hid the treasure out on a heath and could not leave it. And from the evil in his heart, he turned into a dark creature. A dragon.
It's too much. You're too weak. You can't make
No, this is going to fall as soon as I jump on it. Or it could already be falling, and that's why I had to jump on it. It's watching you. What's watching?
You can't go back now.
I've been working at home for so long I still don't have a badge. Even the week that I went to work at the office, we didn't do badges. We got temporary badges.
Something's behind the door.
What is it?
She can feel it.
No.
Don't open the door.
No, go in. Don't.
Turn back. Turn back.
What's in there?
A great beast guards Helheim. Garm is its name, and it knows you are here, Senua. It can smell your stink.
Dillian said she'd leave. Run. Stay in the
What are you
lights.
afraid of, Senua? How will you save Dillion if you are too much of a coward to step into the shadows?
They can't stop me.
Then do it!
That is indeed pretty cool. Every time I get into the shadows. Yeah, technically. But they were prepping us for learning to work in the office because the intent is, contractor or no, eventually everyone was going to be working in the office. Now they put that off until mid-January again. Also, I'm pretty sure I can prove that I'm a better suited to working at home than in the office. I'm pretty sure I can prove that. Like, I took 35 calls today.
The beast is stalking you from the shadows. Your sword is useless here.
I need to find a torch. I know. Personally, I think that if you have a job that can be worked remote, you should just be allowed to work remote. It would save a lot of companies a lot of money. Smaller offices. Yeah. All that stuff. Oh, I was expecting it to be... Oh, torch! Torch! We found a torch.
No. It's a trick.
Mother, do you hear?
Don't fall for it.
It's me, Senua. So loud.
It's not her.
So full of hate.
It's a trap.
I just want to help them. Tell me what to do. Your father wants them to go away. And he only hurts me to silence them. But he's gone now.
But they always come back. He says I will die if I go with them. They say that I'm already dead.
No,
Well,
They want me with
yeah,
them.
you are.
stop.
That's why they crawl through the walls.
Don't listen
Do you
to them.
see them? Do you see their faces?
He's coming. Senua, help me. Help, get me out of here. Don't go.
Where has she gone? She's disappeared again.
She shouldn't be here. She escaped the darkness. She took her own life to escape it.
She can't remember when it started, or when her mother lost her smile. Her eyes gazing past her towards a world she could not see. This is what happens if you reach for the underworld, he said. It was a lot to take in for a child. And the first time she felt the cold chill of fear.
We're basically
I don't
being
talk much about her
stopped
father.
by a group.
Sinbel. I suppose I just didn't want to risk upsetting her. But it doesn't matter now, does it?
I like these voices much less. I can work with people. I don't need to see them to work with. Also, office culture is stupid. It's basically a lot of, oh, well, you're all working in the same building, so you can just stop at each other's desks and talk to each other. No, don't stop at my desk. Stay away from my desk and let me fucking work. Every time you come over to my desk to talk to me, you're stopping me from fucking working. You know what I don't have happening at home? People stopping at my fucking desk and stopping me from working. Oh, shit. I've gotten so trained to use triggers instead of buttons for fighting.
The mirror. Vegas is coming back. She finished him. Behind you.
Ah! Where the f-
It's nearly over. You can't go anywhere without
There
me.
is-
Take the torch and move.
I couldn't find the torch. Oh my god. Nope. I am anti any of that shit.
It's not gonna help her.
Being completely honest.
Do you think you can keep away from the shadows if you liked? You're
Like,
wrong.
in all honesty, my perfect job would probably be Twitch streamer. Only because the only people I have to work with are the people that are watching me. And the people who are going to most likely to watch me are the people who are probably going to enjoy my playstyle or enjoy my shit talking or that sort of thing. You're not going to have corporate bigwigs watching the stream. Technically, I'm sure that when everything gets said and done, so will my current place. Because the ultimate goal, unless I can give them a really, really good reason not to let me stay at home, is to have everyone working back in the office, because they're also big on office culture. I just don't like office culture. I didn't like it when I was working at Regis. I figured. I didn't kill anybody who didn't deserve it. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I suppose I should apologize for my tirade there. I am sorry. I know that I'm very opinionated, but that is exactly how I feel about corporate culture and, you know, everyone has to work from the office because we want you all to, let's celebrate a birthday, or, you know, somebody's promotion, or this or that or the other thing. I don't care. It's not like I don't care about people. I don't. I just don't care about that shit. Oh, no, I know, but, like, I know I got super opinionated and, you know, bordering on the my way or the highway kind of way of talking about things, and that's not how I really want to be with everybody. It's just I can't really help the way I feel about that crap. I mean, everyone is their own person. I just know that sometimes I can come off very intense, and like if my boss could hear the way that I talk about that sort of stuff, I'm not sure that I would necessarily be fired, but they would definitely have a talking with me. They'd be like, Faye, so you do know that there's no choice here. You're eventually going to have to work in the office. To which I would say, you make me work in the office, I will quit. I can't find. I won't fight you for it, dude. Stop talking in my ears. You're very loud in your ears. Let's see anything that makes this shape in this entire hallway. Through it? Really? You can barely see that.
Have it. Keep going. Where's the next? Two more to find. I can feel them. Two more to find. Why are you doing that? These pointless rules.
I can barely see that.
Some gold scout collar. Mother. They're meaningless. Your mother's here. What if you collect them and there's nothing behind the door? Save Dillian. This is just another trial.
Nice. The chair I actually really desperately want is $1,000. Actually, it's more like $1,200. But yeah, I can't afford that. It's just the door. Oh, no, I don't want. I don't want to do that. There's gotta be somewhere else. Which kind of office chair did you pick up? this back out into the main chamber. What? I can't go and light this torch? Really? If we think about it at the end of the stream, remind me. I'll show you the one that I want. Actually, the kind my dad used to have when he was working for Carlson Bogomly Travel. I don't think I've ever owned a Serta chair. Really? I totally forgot she was even outside. Wasn't there another room where I lit a bunch of torches other than the one? Other than this one? Gosh darned it, Coda doggo. I think I'm going to have to go and get the dog. I might just be crazy. And that just reminded me of a Billy Joel song. Don't run off the edge of the world, Faye. Okay, so we have to go and get the doggo, because she's being noisy, like a dog. They do that. So I'm gonna do that, and you guys can listen to the creepy sounds. I'll be right back.
I'm coming! How like that?
Welcome over here. Oh! Oh! Welcome there. He smells like a wet dog. But of course, technically, I guess she kind of is a little bit wet. But she's been outside. I see a sergeant head. One of her new favorites. Really likes this. She wouldn't let me hold on to it. Like, as soon as I left to go and get her, I realized not only were you going to get to listen to the creepy sounds, I was going to listen to the creepy sounds. If it makes you feel any better, if you're spooked by the spooky noises, I got spooked by the spooky noises for the entire time I was gone too. Because I wore my headset. I'm not sure if that's a bonus or a downside to having a wireless headset. Also, after all this Norse mythology, I know it's spelt differently, but it's often pronounced the same way. I'm not sure how much I would enjoy sitting in a chair that sounds like it's named for a Norse mythological creature who is set to destroy or be part of the destruction of Asgard and possibly the world. I'm not looking forward to this part of the game. Because the torch is going to go out. Because water.
She'll have to go under. She can't. She has to. She can't.
I have to run to the next spot there where there's light.
She can't do it. The light's gone out.
Of course the light's gone out.
Get through it as quick as you can.
I'm running. No, Coda, there is no more. Is there a torch over here? It has a torch. Can't remember where the next torch is.
Run. Run. You can get to the light. Get to the light. Stop. Stop. Stay in the light. Stay there. Stay in the light. You have to rest here or you'll die. She's stuck. She hasn't found the runes. Stay in the light. Stay. You're safe in the light. Stay here forever. She can't. She's stuck. She has to find a move. Without the
I need to find a torch.
Get to the next light. Let's go quickly. Run. Look. Fire. How'll she get it? Fire. She has to go towards it. She has to go towards the light. She won't give up time. Forget she's too weak. She will. She has to make it.
I need a torch. Aha! Found one.
Where's the torch? Take it. It'll keep you safe.
I know there's a rune down here,
Find it.
but I want to run up the stairs and see if we can unlock this door up here first.
Now you're free to search. The light will keep us.
there by any chance a lure stone? Aha! Which lure stone are you? Hero, huh?
Rain the dwarf's sole desire is to possess this dragon's accursed treasure, and he uses Sigurd to reclaim it. He tells Sigurd the story of Fafnir's gold, and the good-hearted hero promises to slay the dragon if Rain would forge a strong sword for him. Sigurd remembers that his father once possessed a sword given to him by Odin. Odin broke the sword to bring about Sigmund's death, but Sigurd's mother still has the pieces. And so Rain reforges the famous sword. Sigurd uses the sword first to avenge his father, and then he and Rain go in search of Fafnir.
So the sword was used to kill the king who killed the father of the boy who was the son of the man who should have been king. Oh, look.
The dragon Fafnir is so large and deadly that it would be impossible to kill him face to face. But each day, Fafnir crawls across the heath to find water. So Sigurd digs a pit in the dragon's path and lies in wait in it. When Fafnir slithers overhead, Sigurd sinks his sword into the dragon up to the hilt. Sigurd leaps from the pit, and Fafnir sees his killer. He warns Sigurd that the treasure will lead to his death, as it led to the death of all who owned it. Sigurd replies that death comes to all men, and every man would want to be wealthy until that day. And he takes the treasure.
Can you feel them? Can you see them? I can see them. Where are they? She can't see them. Where are they? She doesn't know. Hold your torch. Look. Use your eyes. Where is it?
Right there. It's right there.
What are you waiting for? Come on. Why is she waiting? What are you doing? Going.
Anywhere else that needs a torch over here so I can see this?
She has it. She did it. She's done it. Well done.
This place. It reminds her of the isolating, suffocating darkness that she lived through as a young girl. Imprisoned in her room at night, the faces in the dark, coming through the walls. She once thought everyone could see them. I mean, that's what children say all the time, isn't it? That there are monsters in the dark. By the time she realized that only she could see them, her father, Zinbel, could see the monster in her.
Have two of them. I kind of wonder what rune words are being spelled. Oh, is there another? Does this one go up?
Her torch is going out. No, it's not. It's gonna run out soon. She hasn't got much time. It's gonna burn out. She's too slow. It's like going to burn out.
The darkness will come again.
It's going to stay light. Stay fatal.
Alright, you scared the bejeebers out of your mom. Oops, she's got one of her toys out. Ella. Squeak! Squeak! Okay. There is a ruin in this room somewhere. Ah!
Do you feel it? The beast is crawling into your mind, searching for weakness. It found your mother and used her to trap you in here.
Did you see her die? I don't remember. I was only 5. They told me she escaped the darkness, that she's with the gods. But what if they lied? What if the darkness took her and trapped her here?
It's kind of interesting.
It's open. I have to go through.
Senua is a Celt,
Where is her mother? It's just another trick.
but there's so much Norse mythology going on in this game that I just don't know.
The beast is coming.
Oh shit! Shit, shit, shit! Run, Senua! Run, Senua! Run! We've gone a long time without ending up dead. Run, run, run! Uh-oh. Nope. There went Dillian's head.
Without his head, you will never bring his soul back. His fate is sealed. Now it can see you at your weakest. The time you suffered as a child at the hands of your father Zindo while you pined for Dillian. Do you remember that darkness, Senua? The beast is bringing it back.
Her father was an abusive asshat.
Mother, why did you leave me? This darkness, it's spreading. Father's keeping me away from the others. Away from Dillian.
It's like the worst way to treat somebody with mental illness.
I won't give up. I'm not going to rot in here. I'm going to find Dillian.
So, forced isolation and or forced socialization are both really bad ways of dealing with people who have any kind of mental illness. Let them interact with people when and how they feel like it. You can encourage it. Hey, I'm going somewhere. You want to join me? But you should never force anyone to do anything against their will. Oh, this is not going to be fun. It's kind of funny for me, because I have moderate social anxiety. It can get pretty bad. There are definitely times where I don't want to even see somebody else, let alone talk to somebody else. And then there are days where I'm like,
She has the light. Just keep going. Save the light. Keep going.
Not only do I want to, or not only do I want to socialize, but I'm willing to socialize and be social and be around people. New voices are annoying.
You can feel him. She needs to find Dillian.
She lost it and she has to find it.
Yes, I know. I need to find my lover's head. Not that one.
A light.
She's not Lorena Bobbitt.
Your eyes up. You're never gonna find it. Are you even going the right way?
Oh, this is going to be super fun. Excuse me? I had to protect my torch from the frickin' water. Otherwise, we would not have had a torch for this part. Didn't kill you. You guys are in gibbets. I didn't kill you.
Stop them.
God bless it.
She's injured. Not gonna make it. Behind you.
God bless it.
He's down. Finish him. Finish him. Strike him. Remember your training. It's not over.
It's over. Oh, damn it. I'm gonna die again.
Quickly get up. They're coming. She's hurt. She won't make it. You finished it. Behind you.
The mirror focus is building.
It's building.
You're stronger.
Focus.
forgot I had to drop the torch to fucking fight. Well, actually, it's dropped for me. Okay, that is a wall of broken stone. That is a fallen gibbet. I didn't kill you, you killed you. This must be the wrong side, because I don't have any little floaty running things. But there's no. Looking for this rune. It's less dense when I come this way. There has to be something I'm missing, because it's not there. Can't go that way. We can't go through that door at all because door. Didn't see those stairs. Oh yeah. guess what we found? We found a way to find the thing. Alright, so now we go back down under the thing. And we should find a projection of this rune against the wall. Oh no, not against the wall. I was expecting it to be a projection. I don't know why I thought it would be a projection. Speaking of all of this, like, who's out here lighting these lights? Who's tending them? Who's making who's making sure that they always have fire lit?
She has to.
She wouldn't listen. He was doing his best.
She never, ever listened. Why didn't she listen to him?
Because he was an abusive asshat.
Zinbo was right.
Zinbo
No,
was
he
trying to
wasn't.
save him from the darkness. But she wouldn't listen. She never listens.
Not stupid.
And now everybody has died.
Because of her. All her weak. She should have known. She should have thought.
Why doesn't she learn? When will she learn?
She doesn't understand.
Now the darkness has Dillian's soul.
And it will take it. And never
Oh, we
give
must
it
be
back.
really getting
She
close to
can
the
search and
end.
Search, but she will never find it.
She's let the darkness in. It's the end.
The darkness will take her like
Although
it.
Sigurd kills the dragon, Rayan wants to keep Fafnir's gold all for himself. Rayan also wants the strength and wisdom of the dragon, so he drinks its blood and asks Sigurd to roast Fafnir's heart for him. Sigurd does so, but when he touches the roasted heart to see if it is done, he burns his finger. Without thinking, he licks his finger and tastes the dragon's blood. In that moment, he understands the language of birds and hears them talk nearby.
Once she gets down there, she'll never come out.
It's luring her down. The darkness will take her like it took her mother.
The beast knows. The beast knows exactly where she is.
She's falling for it. She falls for their tricks every time.
Plays into his hands.
The darkness is coming. Where's going?
She was never.
It's just a trick.
Of course it was.
It uses her memories against her.
It's so clear now. She was never here.
It was all an illusion.
Why did you fall for it?
I'm not sure if I should
She
be.
never learns.
Beast.
She can't tell the difference between reality and illusion.
What's she doing?
She's waiting.
She's making light. She's making a fire.
She's got light on the other side.
She'll be safe. What's she thinking?
I accidentally did something that, I remember I was not really fully paying attention yesterday while I was watching Deckard Games play. So I don't remember how they did pretty much anything, but I know it took them a lot of mucking about to figure that part out. So you need the light on the other side there to be able to not die later.
Sigurd's newfound power lets him hear the birds speak. And they say, Sigurd should eat the heart himself. Rian wants Fafnir's gold. Sigurd should kill Rian before Rian kills him. Sigurd should find Brynhild the Valkyrie, who sleeps an enchanted sleep. Sigurd heeds the bird's advice. He kills Rian, eats Fafnir's roasted heart, and takes Fafnir's treasure. And he embarks on a new quest, to ride to Hinderfell and find Brynhild the Valkyrie.
Alright, so now I have to go under the waterfall, dousing my torch, and run over to the other side. Okay, let's do this. God, I can't see where I'm going.
Get up! What are you doing?
God, I couldn't see where I was going at all. That was nerve-wracking.
Where is she going? Faster, faster, keep going, keep going. What is she doing? Stop! Stop! Keep going. Don't be out in the middle. Follow you. Quick.
Yeehaw!
Faster, faster, keep going, keep going. What is she doing? Stop! Stop! Keep going. Don't be out in the middle. Follow you. Quick.
I accidentally did all that before I grabbed the actual room. Oops. Oh my god. I don't know why I'm so hot, but it is really hot and really sweaty, and I have to pee. We're definitely ending at 9:30 tonight.
Dillion. She can't help but think of him. A tender guiding flame in a world so black. The longer it burned, the more she convinced herself that there was nothing beyond its reach. How little separates us from what we fear.
I think we're going to be finished with this by tomorrow.
She has to.
Sigurd learns that Brynhild had once disobeyed Odin, and so he had her punished, stuck her with a sleep thorn, and put her body within a rampart of burning shields. Only a man who knew no fear would ever reach her. But like me, Sigurd is fearless and passes through the flames, just as I did, and wakes the sleeping warrior girl. She teaches him the secret wisdom of runes, namely victory runes, ship runes, runes for persuasion, runes for truth, runes for healing and help, runes for perception and power. Like Sigurd, the greatest young warrior of the North, you must learn the secrets of the runes to fight amongst the gods in hell.
I kind of wonder if Sarge is getting ready to shoot. He's rubbing his head against his bedding. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here, guys. I'll go ahead and DM you the link to the chair that I just, after I get done using the facilities here. So, usual outro here, guys. thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the follows. Thank you for all the interaction. I appreciate it so much. Thank you again to Goth Ghouls for the most recent follow. Welcome to the pack. You guys keep me gaming. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the end of Hellblade. We'll probably re-listen to that rune again at the start of the game. I'll keep working on that list of games, and I'll share that publicly with people. I will not make it editable, but it will be viewable. Making up words. I'm Shakespeare. Good night, pack. Sleep tight. Don't let the Fae bite.